So how do you create a brand that truly represents who you are and the products you sell, as well as building a business that you can scale online? That is what this podcast will help you do. My name is Henry Kaminski Jr., and welcome to the Brand Doctor Podcast.
Let me just make this statement loud and clear. Jersey's here, Jersey's here.
Welcome back to the show. Amazing guest today. I was excited for a week and a half to have this guy on the show. This guy is one hell of an individual. Let me tell you, I was just on his podcast last week, and man, what an impressive resume. This dude studied alongside Tony Robbins, T. Harv Eker, Deepak Chopra, John Gray, Dave Data, oh my God, David Wolf, Jack Canfield, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Stephen Covey, like the legends. So I had to have him on the show. So without further ado, I want to introduce my man, Rock Thomas, to the show. What's shaking, my man?
Hey, man. Anytime I get to pitch and catch with you, it's a great day. Hey, Henry.
Awesome. So real quick, for those folks that may not know who you are, I want a brief intro on how you got started in the personal development space.
Yeah, so pain breeds passion, and I basically went from farm boy to financially free through real estate. And when I had some success in real estate, I discovered Tony Robbins, and it was through that process of understanding that there's a way you can run your brain better than most people are running it. I started to 10x my results. I started to be able to empower and help a lot of people. Wrote a book, even though I can't spell properly and I'm dyslexic. And it was through that process of realizing that I could do that much more that I got really excited in helping other people. And that was the journey of personal development. That's
beautiful. Where did you get that inspiration? Oh, hold on one second. Where did you get that inspiration to start wanting to help people? Like, was that, did you find that at a young age, or, did something happen in your life that you were like, I want to dedicate my life to helping others, become high achievers and high performers?
Well, I think what Zig Ziglar says, help everybody get what they want and you'll get what you want. And I think I realized that we're all built to serve. And when you find out what your superpower is, then you want to lean into it. It's great to ride a bike, but it's much more fulfilling to help your little kid ride that bike and see their face like, I got it, right? And I want to see people's face when they're like, hey, I'm going down the lane this way, but my life is in the right-hand lane. I'm going to bring them way over to the left-hand lane, give them some strategies, concepts, mindset, tricks, hacks, etc. that allows them to get better results. I've helped 60 people become whole life millionaires through my mastermind in the last 4 years. I've helped people that are in W-2s that hate their job get into becoming entrepreneurs. So that's what I live for. I live for the juice of transforming people's lives.
Man, that is amazing. Your backstory reminds me of like some of the other greats like Dean Graziosi. And, as soon as you said dyslexic, I was like, oh my God, that's, Dean struggles with that as well. So let's get into today's topic of conversation, and it's overcoming mindset blocks. I really wanted you to spend some time on the show to talk about this today, because I feel like a lot of times it's not the tactical that gets in our way. It's the psychological that gets in our way. And so who not to have, but better you, to come talk about this today to my audience. So where do you see some of the mental blocks forming, and why do a lot of clients come to you? Like, what is the common denominator that you see a lot of folks come to you for to help get over?
Well, a lot of people know what to do, but they don't do what they know. And you ask yourself, why don't people exercise when they can? Why don't people open up a business? So I started to study it, and I realized, Henry, that the mind sorts memories, negative ones at the top, as a way to protect you. You have a coffee 30 days in a row. One day you're texting and talking and you spill it on yourself. That file gets stored at the top of your brain to protect you from doing that again. It's actually very useful. The problem is that you need to reshuffle those files from time to time because they're exaggerated. So most people don't. And they grow up later and they're like, I once opened this business. It didn't work out. That stays on the top of their file so they don't ever do it again. You got to reshuffle that. And that's why in personal development, we do things like gratitude practices and we do emotional floods and we focus on possibilities. We look for solutions, not problems. And when you reshuffle that deck, then you become the Michael Jordan that although he's missed 333 shots, winning shots, he still wants the ball because he believes that he can make that shot. And if he doesn't lose, he learns. So when you fall in love with learning, you still want to take the shot. So I say to people, say yes to stuff bigger than you and figure it out along the way. Because if you don't say yes to stuff bigger than you, you're going to be in your comfort zone. You're not going to grow and your life is going to suck. So you get into that place of momentum and then figure it out. You'll figure it out. You've done it. We've all done it. But you need a little bit of access to courage to do it more often.
Can you bring us a story that or a personal experience where you experience exactly what you just spoke about?
So my father passed away to cancer when I was in my late 20s, and I lost my job. I sued the company. I realized that didn't work. They had bigger pockets than me. I lost the homes I built up. I was almost a millionaire in my late 20s. I lost everything. I was on the couch, proverbial couch with my mom, $30,000 in debt. Got into real estate, sucked at real estate. Didn't have any sales experience, but I got a mentor, started doing better. After 4 years of mentorship and just listening to what he said and modeling him, I was selling 100 homes a year. One day he walks into my office and he says, Rock, I want to sell you the company. Biggest company in the province of Quebec, doing $300 million a year in sales. At the time is huge. Today it's not as big, but this is 30 years ago, 25 years ago. And I was just getting out of debt. I just bought a house. I was still with back debts, lawyers' fees, etc. I was making good money, but I was afraid of failure. I was hustling every day. And he walks in. What I didn't know was that he had pancreatic cancer. Even though he had a thriving business, he wanted to take care of his health. And I was the only person he wanted to sell it to of the 94 agents because I was the one that, what I call front load your life, don't freeload your life. Pay stuff in advance. Get prepared in advance. Make your lunch on Sunday for the rest of the week so that you can eat well. So I had prepaid my bill 6 months in advance, and he looked at this as an indication that I could manage money. So he says, don't worry, I'll give you a balance of sale. I'll work everything out for you. I was freaked out, Henry. I was like, this was beyond comfort for me. But I said yes. And then I proceeded to take the broker's course in French, to continue to sell, to learn how to run an organization, to pay off the debt, and to sell my house and sell one car and move into a rental. I said yes to something bigger than me. And when you do that, you access the courage that's always available there, and you grow. And it led to me becoming a millionaire, making $1 million a year and selling the company for $4 million. So say yes to things better than you. Surround yourself with mentors and you'll figure it out.
I agree 1,000% of what you're saying. But if I were to go back, say 10 years ago, I would be very opposed to what it is that you're saying because I was insecure. And it took me a long time to get through that. So, and I know that there's people out there that maybe know that they're or don't even know that they're insecure. What do you tell those folks? You know, how do you get people through it? You know, what happened to me was I got to the bottom of the barrel. You know, there was, I don't know if you could go lower than where I was at. You probably could have, but I finally was like, enough is enough. But I know there's a lot of people out there that don't have the self-awareness. Maybe the ego is too big and they'll never get through that. So what do you say to somebody like that is essentially holding themselves back and not even know it?
Yeah, great question. I mean, what I do when I work with people is, as a coach, you ask questions and you find out what do people want. They usually tell you what they don't want. Then you find out what's preventing them from getting what they want. And that's when you start to reveal the limiting beliefs. So I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I would open a business, but I tried it once. It didn't work. I want to be a great dad. I want to play soccer with the kids and be there. So I don't want to have a side hustle. So I'm just doing my W-2. And when they reveal that to me, then I can provide them with the resources and provide them with a mindset that makes them more resourceful. So I need to have a conversation with people to help identify. But whether you're Michael Jordan or you're just a kid starting out, we all have fears, doubts, and worries. And anybody that says they don't lies about other things as well. So you just work through that process. The one thing that people need to bring to the table is a sense of hunger, a desire to live a great life. And people that say, I don't care, I'm happy the way I am, I just want to be comfortable. People that just want to be comfortable are never comfortable. They aren't, right? And life wasn't designed to be comfortable. It was designed to be constantly just outside your growth area. And the greatest people, the people that seem to live fulfilling lives, are constantly growing, reinventing themselves, finding a new challenge, because that's where the juice of life is. So find your peer group that will support you to grow. That's really crucially important. Most people down the street, your neighbor of you, are not in a growth pace. Most people, because of COVID, are broke. They're struggling. They're fearful. And some people are thriving. What's the difference? Success leaves clues.
Yeah. This is a great segue into talking about some of your programs. You have the M1 Mastermind. You have a 90-day challenge. I want to hear some success stories. You don't have to use names, to keep them anonymous. But I would love to hear some success stories of where some people were prior to coming into your program and the transformation process and where they're at today. You said you've cultivated 60 millionaires through this program, and that's something to be proud of. I mean, that's probably the true reward out of the whole everything that you do is watching these people transform. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I mean, so many great stories. I got an 18-year-old kid that, we showed him how to flip properties through one of the mentors in the group, and he made $900,000 in 18 months. He's now developing an AI app. And I just had a gentleman on my podcast who's done some work with Apple and being bought out in some startups who's an AI guy, and I connected the two of them. So that doesn't happen when you're sitting in your living room or when you're just doing your job. You got to get into a conversation. Now, that may lead to them working together and creating something phenomenal. That's the type of thing that accelerates your life. I got a CPA who had a 2-year-old son who suffered from some rare heart condition and needed a 24-hour around-the-clock watch. His wife had to, shifts, et cetera. The mother-in-law came in, and he learned how to do Airbnb in our environment. And he took a public speaking course that we teach. He gained confidence. He found out through another course we teach called Sacred Gifts. What are your gifts? What were you brought here to do? And he realized he had the gift of teaching. Fast forward 2.5 years, he owns 28 Airbnbs, and he teaches online how to do Airbnb and makes tens of thousands of dollars a month doing what he loves. And he's so phenomenal at it that the people he helps are raving fans. And he retired his mom, his wife, and himself. To me, that's what I'm talking about, is to get people out of something they hate into something they were meant to do and then create freedom. And I could go on and on about different stories of people that came to me $300,000 in debt and are worth $3 million today, 2.5 years later. I could tell you about people that came in at $3 million and are worth $8 million in a year and a half. Because of the introductions, the strategies, the mindset, the container, the ecosystem. And it all comes from Think and Grow Rich. It's not like I made it up. The Mastermind group comes from the concept of when you put people collectively in a room or in an environment where they all want the same results and you mastermind around it, you discover your blind spots, your limitations, another person's strength. And certainly you can learn the way you and I did, which is the school of hard knocks. But a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. And that's wherein lies the challenge, is you've got to be hungry to and passionately curious to probe, because I could ask you a bunch of things like I did in the podcast, how you overcame it. But if I'm not really listening, I don't get the lesson. No. Still, we're told don't text and drive today, yet people still do it. One day somebody's going to have an accident and they'll never do it again. Don't put the alarm system in after you've been robbed. Learn from somebody else and install it before you're robbed. Learn from other people's mistakes and empower yourself to an accelerated result.
Yeah. And that's where the confidence has to come in, because I think a lot of people are afraid to show their vulnerabilities, and they're afraid of being judged. They're afraid of folks throwing it back up in their face. You know, I have a close family member that loves doing that to me. And, you know, it just I have to knock that down real quick, because I know who I am today. Right. And I know that I wasn't the same person I am today 3 years ago. And you have to, you know, when that shows up, you have to quickly address that. So, you know, I want to talk about this other topic about this block, this mindset block when it comes to personal branding, because a lot of this podcast is based on helping personal brands like you and I develop a lifestyle that they're proud of, a business that they're proud of, that most likely revolves around them. And one of the blocks that I've come across in 13 years of doing this over and over and over again is, you know, if I invest in my personal brand, I don't want to look like I'm trying to get Instagram famous. I'm not trying to look like a narcissistic slob, you know, that self-promoting and low, right? What do you say? Because you've done quite a hell of a job with your personal brand. When I went to your website, between you and Steve Sims, you guys have phenomenal personal brand websites that I am very, very excited to talk about. I'll probably do a review on your website too, by the way, on my YouTube channel. So don't be surprised if you got people tagging you going, who's this Henry guy talking about your website? But getting over the mental blocks of personal branding, did you experience that, one? And two, if not, how can you help folks that are struggling with this?
You know, it's what I call the plan for progress. You get 1% better. You start to, you know, for a while I felt like a false prophet. Am I really, you know, that guy? And when my Goalcast video came out, it helped me because I've been talking about the power of your identity for a decade. And people are like, yeah, okay, the words that follow I am, follow you. Okay, yeah, I get it. No, words are very powerful. If you keep on saying to yourself, I can't afford it, you're going to manifest that. Yep. If you keep on saying to yourself, I don't have the time, you're not going to create the time. If you keep on telling yourself, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I can't get rich, I can't make relationships work, that's what you attract. So I've been preaching, if you will, from that. You need to change your words, change the way you see yourself. When my video came out and, you know, in a year, 100 million people viewed it, it was validation to me that my message was valuable, but that maybe I just needed to keep on saying it over and over and over again until people got it. I think with branding, it's a little bit the same, don't you think? It's like you can start out, but you're looking at my website and this is a, you know, a 15-year overnight success. Right? It's tweaked, it's changed, the colors, the this, the that. I've gone through multiple people. I've spent money on it. I wish I met you, you know, years ago, and you could have fast-tracked me. Instead, I did the trial by error, partially because also I was, you know, I was timid. I was shy. I was, you know, do I invest in myself? And I've tried with a few people in certain areas, and they big promises and then didn't deliver. So I got a little bit of, you know, shrapnel on me. And I'm like, okay, maybe I better need to do it myself. But I'm relentless. One thing I have is I'm unstoppable. So I will get there, and I'm getting there. But I think that they need to find somebody like you that they can really trust. And I know you work with just 10, 12, 14 clients, but you take them in and you make them part of the family. Yeah. And you guide them so they really know where they're going. So, yeah, you got to access some courage and be willing to invest in yourself. I guess to answer your question, Henry, is it has to do with your self-worth. at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree. Well, the good news is one of your partners, Nick Bradley, signed up for the Brand Accelerator program last week.
There you go.
Yeah, so we're working together now. Him and his partner Rob and Eve, like these guys are really pumped about getting that clarity, getting that focus, and really scale up your business to the next level. And I'm really excited to be working with them. They come with so much energy to the work sessions, and I love working with them. But you're absolutely right. It does come down to self-worth. It does come down to perseverance. It comes down to how you perceive yourself. That has a lot to do with personal branding, and it's part of the definition. It's, the crossroads between how you perceive yourself and how other people perceive you. So we really got to get focused on that. And if you definitely want to take your business to the next level and be seen as professional and credible, and you've done a hell of a job with that on your site. So let's talk about, as we're coming up on the end of the show here. If you were to, let me ask you this, because I love asking this question. 80 years from now, 50 years from now, 30 years from now, how do you want to be remembered?
Probably in multiple ways. First of all, as a great dad, and that's always a work in progress. But I would say that my superpower is to see, I always wanted my dad to be proud of me. And that never really occurred, even when I took care of him when he was sick. Mm-hmm. And I believe because of that, I seek when I meet people to tell them the things I wish I heard from my dad. Mm-hmm. So I see greatness in people, and I'm willing to fan the flames of that. And so I'm like, no, you can do this. You got this. And I'm a great encourager. I'm a great supporter. And then I will challenge the individual once I have their trust. And I will get, like people said, you should have been the guy on, The Biggest Loser. I'm like, come on, man, get up, give me another push-up, come on. Like, I'm the guy that will drive you to the edge of your possibility from extreme tough love, because I see it and I know you can do it. And the only way you can do that is because you emotionally have experienced what it is to push your edge over and over and over again, but the reward is multiple. So I want to be remembered for the guy, they go, he saw the greatness in me and he brought it out. That's what I want to be remembered for.
That's beautiful, dude. And just by going to your website and seeing how people interact with you through testimony and things like that I've watched, you can totally see how transparent that is when you're interacting with your community. It's a great thing to watch. I wish more people would share that on their websites, because that's a beautiful thing. That's what people really want to see, is rock in action. And you in action. And that's phenomenal. So I want to have my audience, you could send them anywhere you want right now, to get to know you better and learn more about your programs. So where can we send them?
Because of COVID, I'm not speaking as much. I'm not traveling as much. And I'm spending more time meeting people through Zoom. And I don't normally do that, but if people would like to get on what we call a discovery call with me, and we can have a chit chat for 20 minutes or half an hour and find out if I can see in them a potential that they haven't yet seen in themselves, and we can create a plan around that, they can go to www.gom1.com, GOM1.com, and then fill out the application. It's a small little questionnaire. Create the appointment, and I will get on a call with them, and let's see where we can go.
Beautiful. I highly recommend, guys, for those folks that are watching, listening, wherever you're seeing this or hearing this right now, I highly recommend you check out Rock Thomas and learn more about him. I was recently introduced to him through David Meltzer, and I got to tell you, extremely impressed. Love his mission. Love what he's out there doing and inspiring people. If you guys are feel stuck when it comes, and it's a mindset thing, you have this potential and you just don't know how to get there to that next level, I highly recommend you check out Rock and see what his camp is all about. Because I'm telling you right now, I wish I had this 5-6 years ago when I was stuck in my head trying to figure it all out and trying to get rid of all those skeletons that were in my closet. Because, man, I would have been a hell of a lot further ahead. But listen, we all live, we all learn. I'm happy. I'm happy that I've figured it out and continuously learning. And that's the one thing that I want to really emphasize here is we have to always continue to learn and be forever students. I think that relieves us of our ego, that relieves us of being, resting on our laurels, and always striving to be a better person. So I know Rock can accelerate that for you if you decide to join his tribe. I can promise you. I can almost promise you that. So, Rock, thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing your story and sharing some of the success stories of your clients. Really, really appreciated your time today, and thank you for coming on.
Hey, it's a pleasure. And you know what? Your passion and your focus, your ability to dial things in is the type of thing I love being around. And I'm glad that you hooked up with Nick. And we're going to get you presenting in my tribe and get you serving more people. So we'll follow up on that. It's just great to be to know you now.
Yeah, likewise. I feel like it was inevitable. It was just a matter of time.
Now you know that.
I love it. Well, there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's episode as much as I did. Hope you got some valuable nuggets out of it. And don't forget, guys, give me some feedback. I would love to hear about your biggest takeaway. Guys, you know how to get me. Facebook Messenger, DM on Instagram. If this goes on YouTube, drop it in the comments. I would love to get your biggest takeaway out of today's video, today's podcast. And the other thing I want to just say real quick is we hit the 81,000 download mark last week. There's 81,000 of you guys listening to this per month. And wow. I mean, I could drop to tears right now to think that that's even the case. 3.5 years ago when I started the show, I did not think it would catch momentum. It's, I just thought it would be another, amplification or distribution source, but 81,000 of you guys are listening to the show every month. And I just want to say real quick before I go, thank you so much for listening and tuning in. And I'm hoping that to serve you in the future with some amazing guests like Rock. So have an amazing day, guys. And I'll catch you on the next episode real soon. Take care. Hey everyone, this is Henry Kaminski Jr. again, and really quick, I want to invite you to a one-on-one consult with me right now if you're looking for the clarity and focus you need to build your brand. Over the past 13 years, I've served hundreds of entrepreneurs that have great products but struggled tremendously with articulating its value to their ideal customers. You didn't get into business to just change a few lives, did you? Your ideal clients need you. And when your brand has precision-crafted messaging coupled with beautifully thoughtful design that sounds, looks, and feels like you, they'll know you're the perfect match for them. If this is something you're struggling with, what I want you to do right now is pause this audio and go visit www.uniquedesigns with a Z at the end, not an S, .net, and book your one-on-one consult call with me. Remember, the quality of your brand will determine the quality of your clients. And the quality of your clients will determine the quality of your life.